Chaos spawns kinda suck. Hey guys, I'm kind of a casual player and I've been playing since launch on and off. I've been going in ruthless difficulty and this guy just wrecks me and my squad all the time. I've went on the same operation 3 times with different squads, and near the end a bunch of these guys pop up and swarm us and we wipe. How do you deal with 3 to 6 of these guys swarming you? It makes the game very not fun for me. Sorry for the rant. I know I need to get good. Okay. Yeah, Chaos Spawn low-key is kind of breaking the minds of some players. Now, I don't, when it comes to fighting a wave of Chaos Spawn, yes, I agree. I don't really hold it against anyone who are struggling with Chaos Spawn, especially just a pack of them. As far as how do you deal with them, good old splash damage of melt a grenade or melt a rifle, I think, is a great way to continuously stagger these enemies. However, this post kind of spawned which is funny to say, this post kind of spawned a fair amount of other posts where people just continuously started to either crash out about Chaos Spawn or started to meme it. Chaos Spawn aren't bad. They are just new. Hot take, Chaos Spawn are great. The only minor issue with them is the disconnect between the blue parry indicator and the actual parry window on one of their attacks. Dude, honestly, it is kind of annoying trying to read the visual cues when they're in a pack, and not to mention other chaos in the way. Yeah, sometimes their movements are kind of hard to keep track of. I agree. It just gets very chaotic. I think that's still fine to play around ultimately. We just don't have all of their attack patterns memorized like every other enemy in the game. This is fine. It's just new. Relax. Okay, so they think Chaos Spawn, they're just new. They're not too bad. Surely nobody else is going to add in another Chaos Spawn post immediately after somebody posted this one. F Chaos Spawn. I have gotten used to instant parries. Why would you change things up like this? What in the Elden Ring? Why is the parry trigger 3 seconds after the indication? Did they hire Miyazaki specifically to design me? Oh my god. On a serious note, they're actually pretty fun. They shake things up a bit. Oh my gosh, yeah, so the Chaos Spawn, for whatever reason, is now a source of pure brain rot. I do think comparing parries in this game to like something like Elden Ring is kind of funny because of how some bosses can just like feint their attacks and everything like that. Yeah, as far as Chaos Spawn goes, I do think they're fun. I do think they're chaotic. I do think they're very aggressive and hard to deal with, and potentially can stun lock you in groups. And yes, that is frustrating. I do kind of agree with the idea that they're a little bit new. We need to get used to it, but still, Meltas and any way you can just stagger them normally is just a good way to go about stopping them in their tracks. But okay, let's revisit this Chaos Spawn post again, because obviously somebody is going to post another one about this. Be careful. Even mentioning them or talking about them opens up the whims of chaos. Stop talking about the Chaos Spawn. Wait, no. Oh my god. Now we have a full-blown lore post about how terrible Chaos Spawn is, where if you are posting about Chaos Spawn, they're gonna get you. Oh my gosh. But okay, obviously I think everyone has, they said their piece about Chaos Spawn. Everyone has shared their experiences. Surely there's not another Chaos Spawn post. I hate these dudes. I just can't help but rant about how absolutely annoying these dudes are. I don't even want to do chaos missions anymore because of them. Okay, this feels like the first legit Chaos Spawn post where somebody's like, you know what, delete them from the game. Do not delete Chaos Spawn. I do think they're annoying though. I do agree, but I do think they have a specific learning curve for chaos that makes it really enjoyable. As far as chaos in general just being more chaotic, I think that's what I'm referring to here. It kind of just gives chaos a little bit more character, more lore. I feel like lore accurate character. Like, it was kind of weird when you were fighting chaos, and it was at a certain point it was getting pretty predictable. Like, you can even tell when the rubrics were going to teleport away. You can tell when the rubrics are teleporting in for like a fire cyclone. Like, the fire cyclones were like the most chaotic chaos would get. So now we actually have some real chaos, and I think it's definitely a learning curve that we need to get used to. But yes, I agree, there's some annoying stuff about Chaos Spawn, but can we please chill with the Chaos Spawn brain rot? I do have an interesting post here that follows up with this Chaos Spawn topic as well. I don't hate Chaos Spawn, they're alright, but they didn't fix the issues with Chaos at all. To compare the two factions, when you get into melee with ranged Tyranid warriors, you know what they don't do? Attack you with unblockables. Now, ignoring enraged mechanics and the problems with those when you get in melee with a ranged Tyranid warrior, they attack you with an easy combo that you can parry twice, given you either gunstrike or super attack with block weapons. They reward you for getting in melee. Compare this to the Thousand Suns. When you get into melee with them, what do? 9 out of 10 times they throw out an unblockable and then teleport away. No chance to parry, no counterplay, nothing. Once in a blue moon, they throw out a parry combo, but it doesn't even have an indicator WTF. I mean, I do think this post isn't very accurate, to be completely honest. I agree with what they're getting at. Obviously, what they're detailing here is correct, but like that's not. I don't understand how Chaos Spawn doesn't actually improve that. Chaos Spawn, in general, adds more parryable attacks against Chaos. I do agree with what they're talking about here when you get into melee range. Sometimes even Terminators don't even care to swing their melees at you. They do the rockets, which can be annoying. Dude, honestly, I think rocket Terminators are probably worse than Chaos Spawn when it comes to when it comes to melee range combat. Like when you're actually in front of them, when you're in close quarter combat with the Terminator, with a rocket spamming Terminator against a Chaos Spawn, rocket spamming Terminator is 100% worse. But yeah, I guess they have a point here. However, I do think Chaos Spawn made Chaos a little bit more fun to fight, but also there are more parryable moments. At least in my opinion, it's just they lag. They essentially feint their parries, and that can be pretty annoying. I completely understand that. Ground pounds with the assault class works well. As sniper, they have very small headshot windows. The horn one's is obviously his head. One has a black hole on his chest, and the last one, I still don't know. Maybe his butt or something, I'm not sure. Melt bomb and crack grenades are good too. Hope this helps. Yeah, if you're an assault player, definitely aim for the groups of Chaos Spawn. You're not only going to stagger them, but you're also not aiming for critical shots anyway, so your damage is going to be much more convenient than a bolt sniper. Probably. I agree with that, 100%. That is definitely fair. Also, yes, look for the black holes of the Chaos Spawn. Great addition, but the spawn rate is the issue in my opinion. They should be glass cannons. Super potent if you are not careful, but you should also be able to kill them easily, so either gut the spawn rate or lower their health pool. I mean, I think their health is actually kind of fine for the most part, but yeah, I mean, the spawn rate is kind of interesting. I don't think the devs did this enemy any favors by making them group up or anything like that. Like, honestly, that does kind of just amplify some of the stagger issues we see sometimes. But still, the Chaos Spawn can seriously be a little bit slower. I mean, they do take a good moment to swing some of their more devastating attacks. So I do think they can catch you off guard. However, if you have been focusing like one Chaos Spawn, you can kind of start to get the gist of how to approach them. And then it's really not that much different when it comes to approaching 3 Chaos Spawn. If you're engaging, and if they're just going to take like a minute to attack you, just throw a grenade at them, get them to, flinch, and then you can just start getting some good damage then. And maybe you got to worry about a parry or an unblockable in between all of that. But glass cannons Chaos Spawn, I mean, it's not even so much their damage is crazy. They do have, actually no, they do have that one area of effect attack, the build up like blast. That thing's actually kind of sick. But yeah, if you get hit by that, it's rough. Dude, Chaos Spawn are pretty slow. I mean, as far as glass cannons go, it's just like a cannon that is like plastic. No, I don't know. It's a little bit of a tougher cannon, but it takes longer to actually fire. So I guess it really depends on, the class you're using and how you see these guys. But yeah, as you can see, people are a little bit upset sometimes, I guess, with some of those Chaos Spawn brain rot posts. I can't tell what's brain rot or who's like actually mad about Chaos Spawn, you know what I mean? So yeah, it does seem like some people are crashing out over Chaos Spawn, but there are people who find them amusing, I guess. Yeah, Chaos Spawn are unpredictable. But overall, as long as you keep to like some good splash damage, assault players, aim for groups of chaos spawn, tacticals, snipers, place your meltas down, same situations, groups of chaos spawn. When it comes to just fighting one of them, you don't really need anything too aggressive. You just really need to start identifying their movesets a little bit better. But yeah, overall, it is kind of funny seeing all those Chaos Spawn posts, so I definitely wanted to revisit this subject for a bit to see how you guys are feeling about Chaos Spawn. But overall, I think Chaos in general is more fun to fight, but yes, a little bit more frustrating. But I'll admit, though, I'll admit, if you get used to fighting Chaos, Tyrannid hazards are much more annoying, in my opinion. Like Spore Mines, like Acid on the floor, grab attacks. I mean, there's grabs against, Chaos as well, but something about Tyrannid grabs are just much more annoying. You can seriously get, like, an insta-grab by, like, a Ravener or a Lictor or something like that when you're, like, going up steps. It's terrible. It's terrible. But whatever. It is what it is. Ultimately, I have been getting a little bit better at fighting Chaos Spawn, but still, again, Meltas, ground pounds, big AoE attacks. Hey, shock grenades. Last time I used a shock grenade against the Chaos Spawn, though, it didn't really slow them down too much because they can jump. So yeah, that's rough. That's rough. But yeah, let me know in the comments if you guys have a more convenient way of approaching Chaos Spawn or a way that you like to take them down that we haven't mentioned. Let me know in the comments how you guys feel about this, and thanks for watching.